Hi, we are in the studio today with steel guitarist Buck Reid. Buck has performed and recorded with many big artists such as John Anderson, Keith Urban, Leanne Rimes, who else? Dierks Bentley. He is also approaching his 20th year with Lyle Lovett and his large band. So tell us, how did you get started into music?
Hello, Erica. My dad played. My father was a steel guitarist, and we had a family band. I have 4 siblings, and so it was around the house. We grew up playing, and it was just always there. It was a big influence, and they were very supportive, I might add.
Any specific style?
Country, traditional country, all the way. And I grew up in upstate New York, and country music is about, that's top shelf in that region. Yeah.
Now, did you go to school for music?
No, I'm self-taught. I mean, other than my father helping me get started. And so I just listened to a lot of records. I listened to the greats, of course, like Buddy Emmons and Curly Chalker and John Huey and on and on and on. And I don't want to leave anybody out, but there were many more.
That's great. Yeah. That's great.
Lloyd Green. They were just really great early influences.
Cool. Well, Buck, tell us about your time with Lyle Lovett.
Oh, my gosh. I started working with Lyle in 1993 with the large band. And it was my first experience with anything of that size, that just, it was just so great to work with a horn section. I'm a big jazz lover and swing lover. So kind of a funny story was, we went to do the audition, and it was a full production thing, and I was nervous. I was just, I was not only auditioning for the part, but I was kind of getting a taste of, production kind of a couple of notches up from what I was used to, and it was just, it was really scary. I mean, I was scared, and it's a wonder that I got the job, actually, because I'm not sure how I played. I don't remember how I played, but they, they offered me the job anyway.
It obviously wasn't too bad.
Apparently not, yes.
Well, Buck, I know you just came back from a steel guitar convention. How was it?
Yes, that was the Steel Guitar Convention in Dallas, Texas. It's such a great show, and the people that organize it and put it on, they work so hard. They start, when the convention stops, they immediately start on preparation for the next year.
That's great.
Great, the greatest steel guitar players. Not only here, but from abroad as well. I met people from Sweden. I met people from Ireland, from Southampton, UK. I have actually a good friend that lives over there. And it's becoming huge as far as the steel guitar community goes. And then maybe some people say it's like the second biggest steel guitar show of that nature going on. And the first would be Scotty's International Steel Guitar Convention, which is held in St. Louis every Labor Day. And I've had the privilege and been fortunate enough to be able to perform at both of those. And I can't be there every year all the time, just depending on schedule.
Sure.
But I try to make it, and the people are just great. The audience is so supportive. That everybody's there for steel guitar, and it's one of those things. I mean, I get a little nervous for, but not so much because they already love you just because you're there.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, Buck, tell us about the steel guitar right here. You built it, right?
That's correct, yes. A good friend of mine, Jimmy Crawford, who was also a great steel guitarist and builder, and he's gone on now. But my tenure with him was about 5 years, and I helped him build several steel guitars for other artists, for other players, and while I was there, in my spare time, we didn't really have spare time. I had to make time, but I was able to build this, and I'm just really happy with it. It's really
it's beautiful.
Really sounds good to my ears, and it's comfortable to play. And before that, years ago, there's also a good friend of mine who's also going on now, named Dwayne Mars. And Dwayne was kind enough to let me come into his shop and build one of his guitars for myself as well. And I've always been involved in maintenance and repairs and restoration for people that would that needed help or would ask for it. And I grew up just with a natural inclination for it, to learn more about it. My father was a gunsmith, and so I was always taking things apart and figuring out how they worked. But anyway, Dwayne was a sweetheart of a guy, and he surely is missed by a lot of people. Yeah. So it's really neat to play something that you made with your own hands.
Absolutely. So besides recording with big artists, you've also recorded for several soundtracks and movies and other credits. Tell us about some of those.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's while working with Lyle, I got connected with a very well-known movie director out in Los Angeles named James Newton Howard. He did a lot of the Terminator movies and just some really, really big, and I can't think right now of all of them, but it's a list, a real long list. And so I'm self-taught. I know theory, but I cannot read a speck of music, in notation form. And so I got out there, and again, I was like a deer in the headlights. But fortunately, they would play a mock recording of the melody or whatever they were looking for, and if I could hear it once, I was able to deliver. And I worked on with James Newton Howard. I worked on the movie RV with Robin Williams and Jeff Daniels, and also Charlie Wilson's War with Tom Hanks and Julia Roberts.
That's great.
It's so cool to watch those movies and
Absolutely.
to hear yourself and just to be a part of it. And it's not an ego thing. It's just really cool to participate in something like that. So so those are a couple of feathers in my cap. And So here's a little counterpoint idea that I like to use sometimes. So, and how you play this is I start off with strings 8 and 2, and I raise to a half tone so that I have a unison to start with. And then I'll release the second string, raise, and drop back 1 fret with the bar and lower the 8th string. So I still have unison at that point, but here's where it starts to split. I release the 8th string lower, and I lower to a half with the half star or the half tone lower on the second string. So then it sounds like this. So at that point it starts to split, and I keep the second string lower to half tone and move back 1 fret and move up to the 7th string with the thumb, move back another fret, move up to the 6th string with the thumb, move back another fret, move up to the 5th string with the thumb, and then resolve with the 6th string raise and the 5th string raise with the pedals. So one more time from the top, it sounds like.
Well, Buck, tell us about some of the things that you're working on now, some of the CDs that you have, where we can find them, that kind of stuff.
I currently only have one solo CD.
Mm-hmm.
It's titled A Work in Progress. And a friend of mine asked me if I was sure it was finished when he read the title. But it's been received well, and I'm really pleased with that. And I'm currently writing some new material and about to start recording a second CD.
That's great.
All of that, all the information, more than you want to know about me, you can find on my website at buckreid.com.
Okay. Where can we see you perform?
Well, right now it's sort of things are just trying to pick up a little bit as far as touring season, concert season. As far as Lyle, we stay real busy in the summer months.
Okay.
This time of year, I have a studio at my home where I do tracks for people, for singer-songwriters or whomever, and other sessions, and basically whoever will have me, whoever will call me and say, hey, we need a steel player, I'm there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Buck, thank you so much for taking the time to
Erica.
talk with us
Thank
today.
you. I've enjoyed it. Nice to be with you.
Mm-hmm.